I was a fish out of water completely because, as I said, I was incredibly ignorant to that whole world because truly it is a completely different world. We're not looking at just having a wellness visit with our kiddo once a year for them to get a physical, the things that they need to make sure that they're growing accordingly and all those things. This is no, you're going to be in the doctor all the time and you have to learn what they're talking about. That's a huge piece. And in the very beginning, for me, and that's why I tell parents all the time, ask questions. It's okay to ask questions and be affirmative. And even if you don't know and you're not comfortable, because a lot of people aren't, because medical jargon is a very thick and heavy world to someone that doesn't know those terminologies. Find someone that you can trust to talk to because you're going to want to learn those things so that you can understand what's going on with your child and you can properly speak up for your child. And for me, it took years. Like I said, maybe I didn't get as comfortable until my son was probably 9 or 10 years old. And that's a long time when we think about years, but just the process of learning those things, it's not going to be snap of the finger. I mean, even for a person that goes through medical school, they spend 10 to 15 years or better learning, and then they're still learning. So as a parent who does not have medical training, you're just thrust into this world to learn and to do your best to understand and really comprehend what's going on. So I actively spent those first years understanding and doing my best to be as competent as I could for him because I wanted to understand the doctors, because there were instances where sometimes you are being talked at when it comes into speaking with people that are seniors in whatever position that they're in, because in their world it's easy to just flow with these terms and to flow with these conversations, and they just expect you to sit there and take it because most people do just sit there and take it. But I didn't want to keep sitting there and taking it because I knew that my son, what he was going through was so much more important, and he didn't have a voice. And that's what meant so much to me, because I do believe in being a voice for the voiceless. And he was like my big push into actively being in that role, that space of, okay, we really do have to speak up for those who cannot speak up for themselves. And the best way that we can do that is to educate ourselves. Because most times when you're in a doctor's office specifically, they're not going to really just sit there and talk to you and explain every single little thing. It's fantastic if you have a physician that will, but most of them probably won't. And I know in our case, we had a lot that didn't. We had a few that were pretty good about it, but they stuck to their specialty, if they were there for the brain, that's what they talked about. If they were there for the lungs, that's what they talked about. They stuck to their specific field. And so as a parent, I had to just look for myself, research for myself, find out for myself, and begin to just dive as deep as I could so that I could do my best to protect him and speak up, because no one else was going to do it for him.